everyone, and welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review. We're going to be taking a look at a classic fragrance today from 1990 from the house of Calvin Klein. It is the aromatic fougere Eternity for Men, and it is the Eau de Toilette. So as usual, what we'll do, we're going to break down the fragrance, and first we're going to take a look at the box and bottle presentation. Then I'm going to go over the fragrance's notes. Then I'm going to talk about its performance on my skin. Then I'm going to give it my overall thoughts, and then of course my overall rating. Before we do get started on this review, I do want to say if it is your first time here to my channel and you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can take part in future videos. And if you guys have an Instagram, check out the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel for things like giveaways and of course photos of fragrances from my collection. So let's get started with the review of Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. All right, so let's look at the presentation for Eternity for Men. So I bought my bottle in a gift set. This is what it looked like. This is pretty much a carbon copy of the Eau de Toilette box. You can see here, it's kind of this gray slate color, and of course this kind of like lighter white gray, outline to the box, Eternity for Men on top. On the back, this shows exactly what was in the gift set, the 100 ml Eau de Toilette bottle of the fragrance, and then of course the deodorant spray. I do have an aftershave as well, and this is exactly what the box, if I just were to get the fragrance, looked like, except this here is going to say aftershave. So Eternity for Men, Calvin Klein, it'll say the size 100 ml, Calvin Klein on the top. Again, that light gray wraparound, and then here on the side, you got nothing going on. On the back, you have some brand information. On the bottom, you do have your barcode and your serial number. These fragrances are the newer version, the Coty, I think they're Coty Prestige is the one who makes them now. And you can see the serial number here. For the aftershave, the serial number is 8099. So we'll take a look at the bottle now. Really nice bottle. It still kept the classic style. They didn't change the bottle at all. You can see that it's transparent. It has that like neon green juice. You can see there it says Eternity for Men, Calvin Klein, Eau de Toilette. There is no cap. The sprayer is built in just like it always has been here. You can see on the back. On the bottom, you got your sticker, and it just has, again, the serial number for this one, which is 8190. And then again, it talks about the Coty. This is my scent of the day, so let's take a look at the distribution. I'll spray some on. So really nice sprayer on here, and you can see, I've put a decent dent in this bottle since I've got it. All right, let's go over the notes for Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. So a lot of notes in this fragrance. It came out in 1990, so again, the tail end of the 80s fragrances, just breaching the new decade. And back then, the fragrances always had a lot of notes in it. So in the top, you have lavender, lemon, bergamot, and mandarin orange. And then in the heart of the fragrance, that's where you're going to get the most notes. There's juniper berries, sage, coriander, geranium, basil, jasmine, orange blossom, and lily of the valley. And then in the base, you're going to have sandalwood, vetiver, musk, Brazilian rosewood, and amber. So the notes that I pick up on the most, right away, I think you get a little bit of the citrus and lavender, and then it kind of smooths into what I pick up on really herbal notes, some of the green notes, basil in the heart, and then the vetiver and the woody notes come in at the end. So those are the ones that I pick up on the most. The other ones are kind of just in there, at least for me. I can't detect them. Obviously, they're important because they make up, the overall scent of the fragrance, but at the same time, the ones that I mentioned are the ones that I think are the most dominant in this scent. All right, so the performance for Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. For me, it's just okay. I think I'm going to get overall about 5 hours, and that's with maybe 4 or 5 sprays. So I think it projects pretty well for 45 minutes, and then, maybe in the first hour and a half to 2 hours, you're going to get a 1 foot scent bubble. And then, it becomes a skin scent rather quick. I remember I had a bottle of this when I was younger, and I remember the performance on it being much better. And, that happens. At least the fragrance is still being made. It smells really nice, but the performance on this, has a little bit to be desired. So it's not a beast mode performer. I don't remember it ever being beast mode, but it's definitely not as strong as it used to be. So I'd say 5 hours is safe. There are some things you can do to boost the performance with Eternity. Number one is obviously getting products to layer it with. That's what I like to do. It's also part of a collection thing that I'm interested in, but at the same time, when you wear it, I think it makes it last a little longer. And getting things like an aftershave, that's what I just shaved today, and that's what I used. And I can smell it a lot stronger around me. Aftershave balm they make as well too. Calvin Klein does have a body wash, and then they have a bunch of different deodorants too. So obviously the gift set that I got came with a deodorant spray, and I was able to get a deodorant stick as well too, and it's a non-alcohol stick, which I prefer. And then they also have a body spray. So this is aerosol continuous spray, where this is going to be a natural spray. You have to pump it for each one, and this goes under your arm, where this is just kind of like a continuation of the eau de toilette. I know they do have the eau de parfum. I haven't tried that. I just kind of wanted to review the original, the one that I had. So I'm sure that one may have better performance, but I can't speak on that because I don't have it. Maybe you guys could let me know. But those things will help press the performance, and that'll probably get you to the solid 8 hours if you're using all those things, get you through a full workday. But the fragrance alone, I'd say, is average, maybe 5 hours. That's what I'm getting. So, maybe it was better before, but I think 5 is a solid number on my skin. All right, so my overall thoughts on Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. I really enjoy the scent. It really is nostalgic for me. I had a bottle of this. I think it was gifted to me for Christmas. It's going to be hard for me to remember because it was so long ago. It had to have been at the end of middle school or beginning of high school. And you know what? Back then, I didn't think much of it. I wore cologne occasionally when I was that young. It wasn't until, I would say, maybe middle high school and on where I would wear it regularly. But I didn't think much of this one. I thought it was kind of sticky, a little bit sweet, and I still think that, even though I enjoyed a lot more. And I remember having the bottle for a really long time. It sat on my counter, probably at a level like this. And then after I had graduated college, because I would have considered this old-fashioned back then and when I was in college, because when I was in college, I really enjoyed much more modern scents, your designer Versace, Prada, etc., because I thought that was cooler. So I remember using this when I had graduated because I ran out of cologne. I ran out of Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. And I just started spraying it because I was just going to work every day at this office set. And I remember, I'm like, oh, all right, this is actually really nice. And that's when I really started to enjoy it. And I killed the bottle probably within maybe a month and a half. And I never picked up a new one. So when I saw it out again, and I decided, what sparked my interest to buy it is I was in a rack store and I saw the aftershave. And whenever I see an aftershave of a fragrance, it gets me a little bit more interested in it because then I know I can pair it and layer it. But this one is really nice. Unfortunately, the performance is not that great, but it's not your average fougere. It's like a soft green, soft fougere. It has its own sweetness to it. There are green notes in it. It leans masculine, but it's not super robust. And it's a nice change up from some of the, more hardcore classic, fougeres or, beast mode animalic scents that I've been wearing. So it's a nice change up. Definitely a crowd pleaser. Very versatile. I prefer this in the wintertime for a couple reasons. One, I just think it's a little bit much, the sweetness, and it kind of gives a stickiness, in terms of its heaviness, where it stays with you, even though it's not super masculine. But I think that in the cooler weather, your fall and your winter is where you're going to want to wear this one the most. One of the reasons why is because when I first started wearing it, the story I just told when I was at work after college, that was in the winter months when I had killed the bottle, when I had finished it finally. So I kind of just associate it with cooler weather. I think it would be a little heavy, a little cloying. In the summertime, I'd rather have a little bit of a fresher scent. This is very fresh, it's clean, but there's a heaviness to it as well, but it's office safe. Maybe you could wear it in early spring as it's still sort of cool. You could wear it in a formal setting, casual. I think it's well-rounded in that regard because you can wear it anywhere in those, that type of season, whether it's fall or winter. Age range, I would imagine, 25, 30 would probably enjoy this. I don't see many younger guys reaching for it. It's inexpensive. That's another thing. You can get it really cheap. All of those products I think I got for under $100, when I ordered them all at the same time. So I really enjoy it. It's nostalgic for me. It's a nice fragrance. Those are things that I enjoy, and that's what scent does. It kind of evokes a memory. When I spray it on, I remember, when I was wearing it, just had graduated college, going, to work every day, and wanted to have a nice fragrance. And Eternity for Men was there for me when I needed it, when I ran out of what I usually would have worn at that time. And I did enjoy it. And I do remember it lasting a little bit longer, being a little bit stronger. But, either way, 5 hours is not terrible. There are scents that last, under an hour. So I think that, that's a decent one. But I really enjoy this fragrance. Again, it's not going to be as robust as some of the green scents or fougeres that I have reviewed on the channel, but it's one that has, stood the test of time. It's still around. They're coming out with, there's a lot of flankers for it, but I think the original one is the best, although I do want to try the eau de parfum, but I do enjoy this one a lot. All right, guys, it's time for my overall rating of Eternity for Men by Calvin Klein. So let's take a look at the presentation. I like the bottle. I like the color of the juice. I like that neon green. I like the built-in sprayer. The box is pretty basic. It's a clean presentation, nothing spectacular. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The performance, It could be better. It was better. It isn't now. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm going to say 5 out of 10 for performance because, you know, what I'm getting without having all of those products. And I'm going to assume that not everyone's going to want to go out and buy all of the, you know, matching deodorant, you know, shower gel, etc. So I'm going to give it, you know, a 5 out of 10 for performance. The scent, I really enjoy it. Nothing spectacular. There are scents that I love way more than this one, but the nostalgia, and it is a clean, you know, nice, satisfying scent. And I think its versatility kind of goes into play there as well. So I'm going to give the scent a 7 out of 10. So overall, I'm going to give Eternity for Men a 6 out of 10. You know, it's a really, really nice fragrance, and you can get it anywhere. All right, guys, that was my review of Eternity for Men, the Eau de Toilette by Calvin Klein. So I would love to hear from you. Do you guys have the scent? Did you have the scent? Would you buy it again? What did you think of the review? Do you like this scent? Do you dislike it? I always appreciate all the interaction in the comment section, so definitely let me know below. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so. Thank you all for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.